In the wee hours of this morning, I posted a book teaser up on my TikTok here, and you can go back to my page and check it out if you want to. Talking about one of the first books that I started writing. One of the first books that I started writing, and I actually began penning by hand with a pencil or a pen. Some of the pages were written in pen, some in pencil, in a notebook, and I wrote the first 127 pages all by hand. And then I had to go and transfer and transcribe everything that I had written back to computer and finish the rest of the story that way. I had written about 127 pages and it sat for years. And I didn't actually complete it until 10 years after it had began. It's about to be coming up on its publishversary, and it is a paranormal romance that takes place in Nashville, Tennessee, called Forbidden Fantasies. Now, Forbidden Fantasies centers in on a young woman by the name of Araceli Nativa. And Araceli is an English lit major. She is going to school at Vanderbilt University in Nashville. Now, because Araceli's been a really studious young woman, she's been sheltered. She was raised in the deep south in Alabama. This is the first time that she's gotten away from her very kind of helicopter protective mother and her ailing grandmother, which are really the only two people that she has a very close relationship with. When she goes to Vanderbilt, she gets a dorm with a dorm mate, and it gets close to Halloween season. Then she is invited to a Halloween party and, kind of under a little bit of peer pressure, decides to cave and goes to a Halloween party at a fraternity house. And that's when things kind of get a little bit topsy-turvy twisted. And she uncovers some things that she was not expecting to uncover. The discoveries that Araceli makes include happening to meet our protagonist, main male character, Abel Slaine. And Abel is everything that you would imagine that Araceli is not. Where she has been this kind of more down-to-earth, study-centric kind of person, Abel rides a motorcycle, and in addition, Abel has a little bit of a secret. You see, Abel Slaine isn't quite human. But then again, after some of the discoveries that Araceli makes, everything she ever thought about herself doesn't quite match up to being human either. And as it turns out, Araceli happens to be the very thing that Abel despises most. And yet the touch her and is incredibly prevalent. The tensions are high, and so are the... because Araceli Nativa happens to be a Cambion. What the hell is a Cambion, Si? A Cambion is the hybrid of a demon and a human, typically the child of a human and an incubus or a succubus. Sometimes these can also be called a change, and a little bit of argument on whether or not they might also be classified as a Nephilim. If you know, you know. And so all these things about Araceli come to the surface, and she meets Abel Slaine in a very interesting way. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today, because I noticed I've been talking a lot about all these things, and I needed to let you guys know that I have a book out there that touches on these things and has a vampire MMC with totally alpha dom daddy vibes, who rides a Harley and knows how to kick ass, and underneath the surface of all of that badass exterior might have a little soft spot, even though he's technically been cursed to live out the rest of his days as a vampire. So if you haven't already read it, and you're interested in maybe supporting me and this furball right here, you can go get on your local book retailer or Google it today. Forbidden Fantasies by Cy Marie Johnson. It is a full-length novel, complete standalone, and it's about to have its publish-versary this Halloween. So, go ahead, go one-click it, and get started reading about Araceli and Abel today. And take that lesson that I just gave you on what a cambion is.